Seriously, you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make 'em money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
American honor don't lack no soldiers. For the Spirit of the Lord, we don't lack no soldiers. You understand me?
Saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ in they image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the U.P.K, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. U.P.K the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under YAHANNA, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from YAHANNA. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, rank and order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí. Lord Commandant General YAHANNA, I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. This is what Commander General YAHANNA did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge.
That's right.
You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
He parted the Red Sea, and the entire nation of Israel walked out of the slavery
The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer.
He parted the Red Sea, and the entire nation of Israel walked out of slavery.
The I.S.U.P.K. presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're...
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem Yoshai Brakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemala Tham Bahashem Yoshai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yalla with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand, since 1969, we'll be teaching you nothing but the truth about your identity, your culture, your language. You understand? When I'm talking about you, who am I referring to? I'm referring to the descendants of Negro and indigenous slaves in the Americas and the Caribbean, right? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who are really the true biblical Israelites of antiquity. Not these bastards over there that's bombarding Palestinians to the Stone Age. When I say bastards, I'm quoting directly from the Bible. What is it? In Zechariah, if I'm not mistaken, it says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, what they call a mamzer, right? Or the synagogue of Satan. You understand? They are of the devil the Bible speaks of. They are the devil the Bible speaks of, right? We are the real biblical Jews. And with that identity comes a custom, a culture, you understand, that belongs to you, not one that you follow after adopting it from other nations. For example, Christmas, Christianity, or any religious dogma, right? New Year's. What did we spoke about last history class? Carnival. Especially for y'all binging myself here. Y'all wildin'. What else? Valentine's Day, which is pretty much the topic of this Brotherhood class. What is true love? When is Valentine's Day? Is it next Sunday or next Saturday? Saturday the 14th of February. Y'all are about to celebrate Valentine's Day and worship a whore. That's what y'all about to do. You understand? When you look into the origins of all these so-called celebrations that modern day society partakes in, it's all surrounded about pagan holidays from other nations, and all their pagan customs revolves around drunken sexual deviancy. Y'all can look it up, whether it's Christmas, Carnival, so-called Easter, which is named after the goddess Ishtar, right? Valentine's Day, which is a celebration of Lupercalia. You have no love on Valentine's Day. The proof is your man ain't shit on Valentine's Day if he doesn't offer you a box of chocolate. Let's say you were allergic to chocolates, you would still expect him to offer you a box of chocolate. Why? Because it's all about the intention. Well, guess what? Everything you do for Valentine's Day is not about your spouse. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, you hate your significant other and you really worship white people. If you only give sex to your significant other on Valentine's Day, there is no love there. There is no love. You understand? And a lot of y'all women on Valentine's Day, let's be honest, y'all are not even sleeping with the same man that you claim as your man. That's number one. And you men out here are probably sleeping with another man, probably with the one that she claimed as her man. That's crazy. And that's what's going to happen next weekend. I'm not even going to talk about all the partying that's going to go on in the clubs or downtown in some major cities or whatnot, or house parties revolving around, the exact pagan custom of Valentine's Day and other pagan celebrations, which is going to be what? Drunken sexual deviancy. That's it. Nothing else. What does it have to do with the class? Well, the topic of the class is true love. Unfortunately, we don't know what true love is. We have a misconception of what love is. We think that a lot of sisters, and that's sad because some sisters think that a man loves them once they have sex with them. Come to find out, he didn't love them. Why? Because now they got thrown away. You understand? Brothers thinking that a sister loves them when she lets him have sex, right? She opens up the door. You understand? She let him put the keys in, right? Now come to find out, she was using him for whatever purpose. Maybe she just wanted to get high. She wants to get drunk, And we're going to understand that we don't even love ourselves. And that's the problem. How can we know what true love is when we don't even love ourselves? We have never been taught to love ourselves. We've been taught to hate everything about so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. The number thing we're taught to hate about each other is our nationality, our identity, our records. The reason you hate yourself so much is because you were taught to hate the Bible. That's why. The Bible has a definition of true love. The Bible will teach you to love yourself. How? Before we get into some scriptures, right? Listen, there's a quote from the French when they came to Canada to colonize modern day Canada. They said this about the Mohawks, who are the so-called, for lack of better words, native tribe of Montreal and that surrounding area. They said they are a scourge of God. And we think they're referring to the God of the Bible. The indoctrination of our oppressor makes us think that they are referring to the Bible when they were not. You understand? The Catholics do not believe in the Bible. The Christians do not believe in the Bible. The Baptists, the Protestants, or whatever denomination that sprung out of the Roman Catholic Church does not believe in the Bible. Nothing they practice is in the Bible. But because of the indoctrination in their lives, we think that, you know what? They make us hate our long hair. They make us hate our skin complexion. That's why we have a bleaching problem, especially in Jamaica, right, and other islands. They make us hate our hair as well as blacks, where we want to cut it, we want to straighten it. Our sisters want to wear blonde wigs. It would not even be that much of a problem if it was not for the indoctrination of the white man. Some brothers couldn't care less about whether or not their sister, their women wear a blonde wig, but because of the damage that it has done to our people, right? And where it stems from, we understand the problem of a sister wearing a blonde wig. You understand? Shalom. Right? Shout out to Nataza Yab. You understand? That's an amazing brother down over there in Chicago, and he's a nigga. He's a Spanish non-Spanish speaking nigga. Salakia. But that's my brother right there. You understand? We're gonna understand what true love is. And really, when we start rejecting the Bible, when we look into it, we understand that who we are will make us love each other. Because what do blacks and Latinos often say in their community? Why is this happening to me? God must hate us. What did I do to the Most High to deserve such treatment? And then we listen to white people. God must really hate you. God must have forsaken Haiti. Good. Listen, I was at the Haitian border with Captain Kapash, Officer Yatazar. We were literally at the Haitian border, right? Imagine some of the things you see on TV, the propaganda where you say Haiti looks bad. Some spots really look horrible. Looks like a war zone. Like it looks worse than Afghanistan and Iraq, right? And we think white people are right. Maybe God really has forsaken us, if there's a God. The problem is that you need to stop listening to white people. White people make you feel like your skin is nasty when they are allergic to nature. Literally. If it wasn't for sunscreen, they would die from skin cancer. That's how you know the Lord really hates and despises them. Out of all people he despises, one specific nation cannot stand the elements. You understand? You need to stop listening to the people that tell you to drink bleach to get rid of COVID, because you will get rid of COVID and your life. You get me? This is the start of it. You need to stop believing in the lies that the white man pushes. Then you will realize that you being the biblical Israelites, you are the greatest nation on the face of the earth. Let's start with this, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy. What is it? Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Any questions, comments, y'all put it in the chat, right? Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. I'm going to share my screen. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." You understand? The word holy comes from the Hebrew word kodash, meaning to be separate, to be set apart. Not like the others. You're not like the others. You are set apart. Right? You don't mix with anybody else. You're not supposed to. You're holy. You're special. Let's keep reading. "The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself." Not only are we set apart, we're chosen and we're special. All these are synonymous because we're not like anybody else. We're chosen. We're not left in the mix. We're that you see the black sheep. They always talk bad about the black sheep. We're the black sheep. You understand? We need to get rid of the bad connotation of the black sheep, because we're literally the black sheep of the nations in the eyes of the nations. They think like we're nothing, we're less than everybody else. And the reason why we're going to see that is because we want to think like everybody else. We want to be like everybody else. That's why. But the Most High said what? "The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." We're supposed to be above all people. So why is it that we think the Most High has forsaken us? Because we lost our identity. Right here was referring to the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. How we're supposed to know that we're above all nations if we don't know who we are? What are we today? African American, Black American, Afro. Listen, African American is one thing, named after two different continents. How are you Afro-Caribbean? This is not even a continent. This is what? An archipelago of multiple islands? And even then, that's subjective because the coast of Central and South America that goes in the Caribbean Sea is considered the Caribbean. So what are you? Afro-Latino. What is an Afro-Latino? African Latin? How does that even make sense? Latino is because you speak what? A Latin language? How many islands and areas over there speak Latin languages? At this point, why aren't the people from Louisiana Latinos? They speak a Latin language down south. They speak French. They speak Creole. Yeah, that's still a Latin language. Those who speak Spanish and Portuguese, Creole, French, we're all speaking Latin languages. What is an Afro-Latino? What is a native? What is an Indian? People say, well, Christopher Columbus was looking for the route to India. That's a lie. At the time, India was named Hindustan. And then, even during his time, since the Greeks, people knew where India was. They knew the trade routes. When you stop listening to the white man, then you question, like, maybe if he lied about drinking bleach to get rid of COVID, and then he lied about Christopher Columbus looking for India, what else did he lie about? He claimed the Bible is his, but the people in the Bible are people of color. Something is not adding up. And then it's talking about how the people of the Bible, because they disobeyed, because they transgressed, because they did something they were not supposed to do, a punishment fell upon them, such as going into captivity, such as losing their heritage. And then you ask yourself, who did this happen to? Out of all the nations on the face of the earth, even those who were colonized, because everybody got colonized. Being colonized is not like a prerequisite for being an Israelite. The East Indians got colonized. The IUIC is saying, is it the IUIC? One of these fake Israelites, sodomites, are saying that East Indians are Israelites, Filipinos are Israelites. What's the name over there in New Zealand? And Polynesia, they're saying these people are Israelites. Colonization is not a factor to be an Israelite. You know, Africa got colonized. Africans are not Israelites. What's the point? Arabs got colonized. The whole planet got colonized at some point. But did you lose your heritage? Did you go on to slavery by slave ships? Did you lose your language? You understand? Have you no knowledge of who you are and what your customs are? Because out of all, even the colonized people today, look at the Australian Aborigines. They know who they are. They know their language. They know their culture, despite being colonized. Same with the Arabs. The Palestinians did not become Jewish. You know, the East Indians still worship their LGBT god with 10 arms. You understand? The Filipinos, a lot of them are Catholics, but a lot of them are still, worshiping Buddha and whatever they used to worship. Africans still have their African spirituality. So what are you talking about? They did not adopt that from any other nation. Israelites following heathen customs adopted it from heathens. They did not make up their gods. They didn't. We're the only nation who did not make up our God. And we're the only nation who lost their heritage, their language, their culture. And these people who it happened to is so-called blacks, Latinos, and native Indians only. If you can find someone else, listen, show it, prove it, dig up the archaeology. I don't know. Until then, be quiet. Come to class, sit down, Shammai. Right? That's the first thing, is knowing who you are. Now that you know you're Israelite, you know that the Bible is the book of Israelites, you can understand what true love is. And that you're the only people who truly know and are capable of love. Let me show you. Let's go to 1 John. Is it what? 1 John chapter 2. What am I saying? 1 John chapter 2. 1 John chapter 5. Verse 3. It's the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God. This is the love of God. This right here is love. not because someone has sex with you. Listen, someone having sex with you doesn't mean they love you. You know how we know that? Because prostitutes have sex every day. You understand? Does that mean that they're being loved every day? They're being loved for $40 for an hour, for 2 hours? I don't even know. I don't know the prices. Don't ask me. You get the point? Prostitutes have sex all the time. Sex does not mean love. How do you know? Ask Epstein victims. Were they loved? Ask them. Ask the children being molested in the church. Ask them. You understand? Sex does not mean love. It doesn't. Ask all these people that were hurt, that became sodomites. Ask them how they became sodomites. Ask your pastor. Ask your cheating wife. She's giving you sex and she's giving another man sex. Is that love? Sisters, ask your husband getting pegged. Is that love? You understand? We'll see what true love is according to our records. Every nation has a record on how to do things, on how to move, on how to conduct themselves, to know what to do, to know what not to do. The Muslims have the Quran. The Muslims know how to be a proper Muslim brother to another Muslims. The Muslims know how to fast according to the Ramadan, and they know what to eat, what not to eat. And whenever they feel hungry to the point of starvation, they have an exception where they can eat pork. That's allowed in Islam, but that's not allowed for us. You understand? Every nation have their own codes and morals and constitution. This is our constitution. Let's see what love is according to our constitution. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's for you not to eat pork under any circumstance, even if you're about to die. It's for you to not sleep with another man that is not your man, because sex is marriage, sisters. You understand? It's for you to not sleep with a woman that you know you're going to throw away. You should not throw her away. That's your problem. She's a monster. You chose her. You understand? She's a crackhead. You chose to sleep with a crackhead. You have to keep her. Fix her up. That's true love. Imagine you take the most down bad sister, like, yo, you chose her. You have to deal with her. As opposed to like bashing her and everything, you fix her up. Most are in Christ. Fix her up. That's true love. Sisters, don't complain that nigga ain't shit because he don't have a job. You chose to sleep with that nigga that ain't have a job. Help him out. That's true love. Now you sleeping with another man, that's you hate yourself and that man and the man you're going to sleep with. That's not a love triangle. That's a hate triangle. We're going to break it down in a second. Let me finish the verse. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Why? Because it's not hard to obey the law. That's what the commandment is. It's not complicated to just not eat pork. We have a whole plethora of dietary laws. We could eat deer. If it wasn't for poaching and the white man being a devil making animals extinct, we could probably eat a giraffe sirloin. Damn. I don't know what giraffe tastes like, but imagine hunting a giraffe. You have steaks for what, 2 years? You could feed damn near the whole tribe with that. Listen, Natazayab, we having a barbecue for the Passover, April 4th, 2026, Houston, Texas. If it was legal, because it is lawful, if it was legal, if they were not going extinct, I'm pretty sure we'd be able to buy a giraffe neck, a giraffe, like a lamb leg, a giraffe leg, people eat oxtail. Imagine giraffe. Yo, listen, boy, antelope. You understand? We listen, as long as it had hooves and it chewed the cud, is lawful. You know. Shout out to the tribe of Issachar. They eat what you call chapulines, crickets. It is not for everyone. Salakia. You know. What else? Any fish or anything out of the water that have fins and scale. Personally, my favorite is salmon. Shout out to the Gadites. They make the best salmon recipe ever. You know, and it's top secret. Salakia. You understand? It's not hard for you to just follow the law. Just don't eat what you're told to not eat. Don't eat pork. It's disgusting and filthy. It has nothing to do with how clean it is on the outside, because the Lord said so. That's why. You know, don't be a homosexual, because the Lord said not to be a homosexual. And if you're now adopting that lifestyle, you hate yourself. Listen, you hate, if you're a homosexual going into in a relationship with another homosexual, you hate that person you're in a relationship with. You hate both. You hate both of each other. Y'all hate yourselves, and y'all hate the one that you're doing nasty stuff with. How does that work? You know, the Lord said, "Thou shalt not be any whores of the daughters of Israel." You should not walk around outside in underwear. And I'm going to call it underwear because that's what it is. I don't give a damn if you're at the beach. You're at the beach, you're wearing what? A panty? Y'all damn near wearing nothing. You know, you're outside naked, and then you think, well, black women were not loved, Hispanic women were not respected. You know, we deserve more respect. We're mothers. We're daughters. Yeah, cover your ass. Cover your behind. Respect yourself. You can't expect respect if you don't respect yourself. And that man that you have telling you to cover yourself, that's love. He don't want you to, you know, carry yourself like a whore who don't love herself. He loves you. He wants, listen, what is it again? Is it you know, quick sidebar, is it Ecclesiasticus? I think what, 34 or something? You know, a wife is a possession. Yo, a man value his possessions. That's the point. A man wants to protect what belongs to him. If you're out here parading yourself like you don't belong to nobody, you could belong to anybody or everyone, of course you're not protected. Nobody wants to protect something that's just, you know, it's for everybody. It's not mine. You understand? It's public property. It's not private property. You protect private property, not public property. You understand? That's why, yo, that man, he said, yo, babes, you know, maybe you want to wear something else, or however he says it. Of course, the Bible says, don't be like a roaring lion in the house. Don't cuss her out right away. Coming out of hell, we need to work with each other, right? But that's love right here. That's love. True love is to follow the commandments. He wants you to be protected, to be under his protection. You get me? And that's what love is, to follow the commandments. You understand? Now let's get to what I was about to show you about that triangle of hate when it comes to you either sleeping with a woman and throwing her away, or you not being satisfied with a man for whatever reason. Listen, rub your woman the wrong way and she hates you for life. She's gonna look for another man. And she hates really herself, you, and the other man. Why? Because adultery, because divorce is a sin. And adultery is a divorce is a sin, and it causes adultery. Salakia. Is it Matthew chapter 9? Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whatsoever, Salakia, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, if she's a monster and you throw her away, that's your business. You should have never slept with her in the first place. Like a lot of y'all just look at women like, you know what? What did Dr. Umar say? Dr. Umar says he got throat goats. You're looking for a throat goat. You're not looking for a good mother for your children. You're looking for a throat goat. You're looking to dip your biscuit. That's it. When you're looking for a woman, look for who you would deem as a good mother for your children. Because they're going to end up with a horrible mother. And what was the show I watched? I watched a show, some crime show called Explore With Us. You would not believe the horrors that happen on a daily basis. And that just come to light on a YouTube channel. It's good night. It's undescribable. And guess what? If your children end up being hurt by a woman that's a horrible mother, well, you chose that horrible mother. And vice versa. You chose that man that you had kids with that's a horrible father. That's why when you look into your significant other, look into, do I see myself having, building a family with this person? Right? Because you can't complain that she's a monster and then you chose her. You have to keep her. That's your problem. You should have thought better. You should have thought, do I really want to have kids with her? Is she going to nurture my seed? Is she going to nurture my children? Or is she just going to walk around butt naked in the house smoking cigarettes and cussing the kids out? Let's read that again. Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, you have to deal with her. You can't divorce her. Except it be for fornication. Except if she commit an act of fornication, which is unlawful sex. That's what fornication is. Fornication is not sex before marriage like the church claims it is. Sex is marriage. You understand? Except she has sex with another man or with whatever it is out here, to be honest. This 2026 is diabolical. You can't leave her. Salakia. Whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, meaning, if you're afraid to just take on more than one wife, and you're going to leave the first to take on another, what happens? Committed adultery. You're an adulterer by association. I'm going to break it down. And whoso married her which is put away doth commit adultery. So now we're getting into the triangle of hate. Why? Because sex is marriage. You can't divorce that wife. You can't divorce that man. So if you take on a monster that becomes a horrible mother to your children, and then you're like, you know what? I'm going to leave you so I can look for a better mother for my children. You could go have sex with whoever you want. Right? You are committing adultery by association because you're going to cause her to commit adultery. And that man that you throw her in his arms, he's going to commit adultery, whether he knows it or not. You understand? That's why. And that's how we get into this triangle of hate. You hate her, you hate yourself, and you hate him. That's unbrotherly to just throw a woman at a brother to cause him to commit adultery, to cause her to commit adultery. You hate everybody. You hate him, her, you, and the kids. Shalom, Officer Madabari Hababa Shem Shabakatazar. You understand? That's what happens. What did we just read? That the love of God is to follow the commandments. That's the love of God. You understand? If you truly love the Most High, that woman, listen, you're going to keep her, you're going to fix her up. You're going to fix her up. Vice versa. You get me? It's what we just, the commandments is not grievous. It's not difficult. You just need to be in class. Why? The I.S.U.P.K, we raise men. That's why. We teach brothers how to be better brothers, better fathers, better sons, better husbands. You understand? Likewise with a sister. Your sister how to be great mothers, great sisters, right? Great wives. Isn't that like heaven? We're taught how to hate each other. In the I.S.U.P.K, we're taught how to love one another. The first thing is to knowing who you are, and then to know that love, according to the constitution of your people, is to follow the rules. You know, you have a wife, you can't leave her. Work on her. You know, that doesn't mean yell and be a monster to her, right? Because she's a monster. Of course, don't let her step on your foot. But you get the point, right? She's not a soldier like you are. Understand this. You get me? The Bible says this about our sisters, right? They're so delicate, their foot should not even touch the ground. That's one thing the Bible says. But another thing the Bible says about our sisters is this. Let me share. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Listen, sisters will say some of the most heinous thing to your ears, and you might brush it off. Sometimes you're just gonna brush it off. Sometimes you're not even gonna pay attention. Sometimes you're actually like, yo, damn, she really said that shit to me. You know? And then you have to realize maybe two things. That's where you have to adapt your what you call it again, your analysis. Then you have to be like a psychologist. It's like, is it worth, like, is that checking worthy? Because you have a lot of sisters have to be checked with for everything. A lot of sisters is like, yo, you don't even pay attention to what they say, how dumb it is. Some sisters don't realize either. So you're like, you know what? I do have to give her some slack and then find a way to teach her, like, yo, you see this shit? Don't ever say that shit again. You know, depending on what she said. Listen, some of y'all are diabolical. They say the more. Listen, whatever. What's the nigga name? He looked dirty in the face. That's what Captain Kataza said. The Sakari nigga, the Sakari cat. I forgot, but the conversation with his wife is that he has fantasies of her being a white man, and he's getting back shots from her. That's a lot. You know, he should first of all, she should have never entertained it. You know, the Bible says, listen to your husband as unto the Lord. So like, I'm just paraphrasing, we're gonna get that as well. You know, but once whatever. Listen, I don't even know who started that conversation, but let's say she would have started the conversation. He should have checked her. This is not something that you would have to ignore, right? He should have checked her. You understand? Yes, and let's say something different. What do sisters say sometimes that, you know, we don't really like? Gorilla. Yeah, Kawakasa. Glorilla Shebrew. Salakia. Glorilla Shebrew, yeah, that's him. For argument's sake, if she would have started that conversation or that weird, I don't even say this is a weird fantasy, that's just gay, Salakia. He should have checked her right away, right? Now, let's say something. Let's say you have a passion, right? You do art, you draw, you do music. maybe she had a bad day or whatnot. You ask, yo, what do you think about my painting? What do you think about my music? Or what do you think about the food? And she has a woman moment, or maybe she just had a bad day. She just brush it off like, I don't like it, or she even watch or hear the music. She even pay attention to what you said, and you're hurt because you hold it dear to you. Yo, maybe you should have you don't have to check her for that. Like, yo, I asked you what you think about my music, and start roaring like you're a goddamn maniac. That's not how you're gonna deal with her. The Bible says, again, what did it say? Dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. You're gonna know how to maneuver through the ups, downs, left, rights, to the good and the bad days and the neutral days. With the knowledge of what? What is the knowledge? The knowledge of the Lord. That's the only knowledge that we got. We either got the knowledge of the Lord and the knowledge of the world. The knowledge of the world will tell you, oh, you know what? I'm gonna find a whore that likes my music. That's the knowledge of the world. The knowledge of the world will have sisters find a half sodomite cat that is not gonna argue with her and never gonna check her or ever. Why? Because he must agree with her, not dressing up. At this point, I don't even say you're dressing as a whore. I just say you're not dressing up at all. Might as well walk out naked in the outside. That's what you're gonna find. The knowledge of the truth is take the checking. Just put some clothes on. You're not gonna like it, but guess what? Nobody likes to get checked. Even though we know it's good. Medicine don't always taste good, but it helps and it cures. You understand? Sometimes, even whenever you gotta check your kids, you gotta remember these are kids. They're not soldiers. They're kids. They're gonna yell to the top of your lungs because the kid made a mess. He's a kid. They're going to make messes till they're like 15, even past 15. Kids still make messes. Well, you gotta treat your wife the same, according to knowledge. Understand that, maybe y'all don't process the same thing the same way. Y'all don't deal with bad days the same way. You understand? Y'all don't deal with stress the same way. Like, you understand? You're going to give honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Right? Whatever she said, she probably don't even mean it. She didn't even pay attention to whatever you were showing her. And guess what? You're going to come, humble herself and apologize. Sisters really are going to work that apologetic muscle that they hate so much. But that's true love. That's true love right here. It's as simple as that. So let's do a quick recap. What is true love and how do you know you have true love? How do you know you could truly love? First of all, you need to understand that you're an Israelite. You understand? You're an Israelite. Then you have to go into the Constitution of Israelite that tells you what true love is. Following the law, statutes, and commandments. Then what? We just seen that this is how you have to deal with your wife. Matter of fact, you have to deal with your wife like you're going to give your life away for her. Just like Christ gave his life for the church, for the nation. You get me? You understand? Let me get this precept 1 second. Salakia. There's a precept I was about to give you just now. I think it's in Ephesians. We have to listen to your husbands as unto the Lord, or according to the knowledge of the Lord. Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. Any questions or comments, y'all put in the chat, of course. Bear with me one moment. Colossians chapter 3, verse 18. That's the one. Not Ephesians. Colossians chapter 3, verse 18. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. What does it mean? That's part of love too. What does that mean? Does that mean your husband is a dog? Listen, what's the show again? Power. Power, you have Jimmy St. Patrick and Tasha. Tasha was selling dope. You know, I mean, she cheated on a nigga at the end of the day multiple times, right? But the point is, if you are a trap star and you have your trap queen, that's not how she submits herself unto you as is fit in the Lord. You have to submit to your husband and to listen to him to as long as it's righteous, as long as it's not sinful, right? The perfect example, the Glorilla cat. He told his wife that he had a fantasy of getting bacas from a white man. That's how she put on the toy, and she went. she did the battery on him without the assault, Salakia. Right? She should have never listened to him. She should have said, "No, that's wrong. That's la'atawab. The hell with vanilla or not vanilla or strawberry or chocolate, whatever terminology they used." She should have said, "That's wrong." It says, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord." That is not fit in the Lord. That is not according to the knowledge of the Lord. According to the knowledge of the Lord, there shall be no sodomites of the sons of Israel. No man should be effeminate. No man should be taking it. You understand? Neither of them loved one another. Neither of them. They didn't have that knowledge. That's right here that they claimed they had. Neither. Now let's get back into the main topic of the class, which is what? Valentine's Day. Guess what? You want to have a proper Valentine's Day date? First of all, you do not acknowledge Valentine's Day. That's the number one thing. Second, you come to class. You come to class. Whether it's online class, physical class, wherever you at, that's what you should do. That's true love right here. Why? Because you're going to teach your husband. You're going to teach your wife how y'all should love one another by coming to class. It's that simple. You understand? Coming to class is the first step, because this is where you're going to learn that you're an Israelite. This is where you're going to learn that true love is following the commandments. So we're going to learn that you should not celebrate Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is what? Let's pull up the origins of Valentine's Day real quick, right? Salakia. Share my screen. It's not a history class, so we're going to do it brief. You understand? This is the pagan origins of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day has strong ties to the ancient Roman pagan fertility festival of Lupercalia. See, what did I tell you earlier? All these pagan festival and celebration has to do with what? Being a sexual deviant. What is fertility about? Sex. That's what it is. You know what they used to do? Let's keep reading. celebrated mid-February, which is why it's in the middle of February, involving animal sacrifices, fertility rituals, and matchmaking lotteries. That's your Tindering thing. Damn, the Roman Tinder. That is crazy. Which the Catholic Church later tried to replace with a Christian feast day honoring martyred Saint Valentine. Though the pagan festivals' influence persisted and merged into modern traditions. Again, it's not a history class. We're going to go brief. They used to parade women naked in the streets of Rome, and whip them till they bled with what I think is dog skin and goat skin. They used to whip women. They're saying if you beat them if you whip them with goat and dog skin, it's gonna make them more fertile. It's good, diabolical. Let's see. Rituals, priests or Luperci, the priest of Lupercalia, sacrificed goats and a dog. Men, often naked or wearing strips of hide, would whip women with animal hides, believed to promote fertility. Young women put their names in an urn, and bachelors drew names to be paired for the festival, sometimes leading to marriage. What did I tell you? It's all about having an orgy. It's all about having an orgy, and of course, they're getting drunk because that's what heathens do, especially white. Listen, especially Greco-Romans. It's like this is the pinnacle of paganism. Even though they adopted it from previous empires, they took it to a whole other level. You understand? So that's where it comes from. So how do you know you do not love your significant other on Valentine's Day? Right? We just seen what love is, which is follow the commandments. So how is it against the commandment to follow Valentine's Day? Who knows? Who could tell? Right? How is it against the commandments? I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to answer. How is it against the commandments? Or how is it against the law to celebrate Valentine's Day? Now, let me see. I forgot to show this before you. This is pretty much going to give you the answer. But how is it against the law to celebrate Valentine's Day? Which would show how it is contrary to love to celebrate Valentine's Day, right? So Valentine's Day is widely believed to have roots in the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia, celebrated February 13 to 15 to honor the gods, Faunus, god of agriculture and wildlands, Lupercus, a pastoral fertility god, and goddess Juno, goddess of marriage. It was a purification and fertility rite intended to ensure health, which was later replaced by Christian traditions. Faunus and Lupercus are Roman deities of fertility and agriculture honored during the festival. Pan, often identified with Faunus in the context of Lupercalia. We've seen Juno, especially honored as Juno Febrata. Cupid or Eros, while a common symbol today, Cupid's direct role in the original Roman festival is less established, though he is the Roman god of desire. So you have a god of fertility, which is sex, agriculture, which they promote, you understand, sowing seed. Cupid or Eros, which is desire, lust. You can't make this up. You understand? Let me see if you can find a picture of these pagan gods, right? Cupid is the Roman god of desire, erotic love, attraction, and affection. He's good night. This is who you worship. So this is Cupid. You understand? This is Cupid. They portray him as a naked boy with wings. That's Cupid. And I'm still waiting for the answer. How is it unlawful? Keyword, unlawful to celebrate Valentine's Day, right? And this is Faunus. Good night. Listen, why is all the Roman gods void of clothing? See, that's how you know you should not. Good night. I'm going to give you the answer for time's sake. Why is it unlawful? Because it's the worship of another God. That's why. How do you know? You have to go to the law. That's how you know it's unlawful. What is it? Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, it started verse 1, right? And listen, I don't know who wants to worship a naked God, but we don't do that over here. The other nations might do it, but we don't do that over here. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, verse 2, Salakia. I am the Lord thy God. Thy, which is a possessive adjective, knowing that he's only the God of the children of Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Salaki, which is what Egypt means, the house of bondage or slavery. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. What did we read about Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day is to honor the gods. It don't matter if it's one or multiple. Faunus, the god of agriculture. Lupercus, a pastoral fertility god, and goddess Juno, and also Cupid, the god of Roman sex. Good night. That's what Valentine's Day is all about. The worship of these gods. That's how you know you don't love your significant other. As an Israel, it don't matter about the other nations. They do whatever the hell they want. We're not supposed to copy after them. They want to kiss rocks. They want to, play with branches, right? They want to worship fat Chinese men or East Indian LGBTQ mutants. That's their problem. We should not do after them. You understand? What does it say again? In the law, that's how you know it's unlawful. It says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's how you know you don't love one another. You don't. We read what it's all about. What's the other goddess? That's how we started making hearts in the shape they're in today. Aphrodite or something like that. It's in the shape of her butt. Literally. The point is this. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, you do not love yourself nor your significant other. Because what is love? Again, love is to follow the commandments, to follow the law. And it's not grievous. It's not painful. Like, you mean to tell me you need the white man to tell you when to love one another? You need the white man to tell you when to procreate and have babies? White people cannot even have babies. They don't have enough babies because they sleep with all their babies. Literally. They can't have children because they sleep with children. And you expect these people to tell you when you should make children? How does that even good night? That's how bad we're destroyed today. Imagine that. Now, we don't even question where did Valentine's Day come from. We don't question nothing. The white man says so, so it must be so. It's just to show that, you love one another. You know what love is? We just read what love is. It's to follow the commandments. Love is an action. Love is to suffer one another. You understand? That's love. I seen a clip. I need to find that clip, right? This sister, and she was young. Let me see if I can find this clip real quick. And this is the problem, right? This sister, she was truly loved by her man. Truly. You're going to see what I mean, right? So I can find this clip real quick. Because I don't even want to paraphrase the situation that she was in with her man. But that was true love that he showed her, which she didn't reciprocate. but that's irrelevant, right? The point is, he truly loved her. Not because, you know, he gave her kisses all the time. You understand? Not because, you know, he rendered due benevolence, you know, as per his marital duties. That has, even though, yeah, that's that's a show of love as well, but that's not the point. Let's see if I can find the clip real quick, because that's a perfect example of love. Bear with me once again. If I can't find it, I'm gonna just break it down to y'all. But the clip would have been perfect. We might play it this Sunday for our show, One West Ground Zero, right? I can't find it. It probably was removed. So the point is this, right? The sister was having a medical condition. She couldn't take care of herself no more. You understand? Her man, what did he do? Yo, he sacrificed everything. He bathed her. He cleaned her up. You know, he helped her walk. Like, she really couldn't take care of herself. Once, I don't know if she had like, I forgot if she had like some type of disease or whatnot, but she couldn't take care of herself no more. Once she got back up in her feet, she's on this type of podcast or whatnot. And, you know, he's trying to recuperate. Why? Because he didn't focus on himself at all. It was all about her making sure she good. Why? Because she can't do nothing. She can barely move. You understand? And that's love. He took care of her to the point where sometimes she said, yeah, he actually had, you know, to like help her, you know, with hygiene, with personal hygiene, because she couldn't do it herself. And that's love. The actions that he did, the actions he took is love. It's not just words of encouragement. It's also part of love, but you know, you're not gonna help her wash her body by telling her, yeah, let the water drip. You know, take the loofah and the soap. She can't move. So, as a show of love, being her significant other, he did everything he had to do. And that's love. Now, she turned around and said, I'm ready to move on and focus on myself. I don't know about him, but this thing is losing it. Damn, that's not funny, but you get the point? Now that she can move how she wants, she could drive, she could wash herself, she could wipe herself, she could function. Now it's like, I appreciate you, but I got things to do, my nigga. I was like, damn. It's like, damn. Good night. And that's the total opposite of love. You know, you're going to be used. Being used is not the issue. Being misused is the issue, because we're all used one way or another. Your kids are using you, whether you know it or not. You know, you're using one another. But the issue is when you're being misused. You understand? And he didn't know he was being misused until like, no, now she could walk, talk, jump, drive, work, and get money. She don't need me no more, according to her. Why? Because he was not in the, I think something like he was not in the position in life where she may have wanted him to be. The thing is that he slowed down everything just because she couldn't take care of herself. He was not gonna, he loves this girl. He was not gonna just let her rot on the couch and have mold grow all over her. No, he took care of her, as he should. He chose that woman. Not that she can't move or nothing, well, you're just gonna throw her and look for a woman that could just, you know, hop and skip and dance and jump. No. That's not love. At this point, why? Listen, what is it? Is it Paul that said, at this point, you should not even marry if you're not ready for that? You know, there is, just to quote what Jeremiah Hyman said, it's an oath that you take on with that person. It's an oath, not the oath that Christians say, till death do us part. They say till death do us part, then they murder each other for like life insurance. Till death do us part. And they're the cause of death of their significant other. You take an oath when you're being with that person. That's for life. Through the good, the bad, and the ugly days. And he showed how much he loved that woman. Really, I don't want to say how much he loved her, but he just showed he loved her. Now she did the opposite. She said, I can move on now to someone who has their shit together. So for lack of better words. I'm gonna find that clip and we're gonna be able to play this Sunday. But you get the point, right? That's not love. In the I.S.U.P.K, we don't give up. No cowards, no excuses. We one West till death. And that's love. You understand? We don't just quit when it gets tough. We don't. We ride the wave till the end. And we crush these waves. The waves don't crush us. You get me? We break the walls. The walls don't stop us. You understand? And that's love. You don't just give up on someone. You don't. How do you know you don't? Not giving up is love. How do you know that? Anyone can answer. How do you know not giving up is love? Seems like people are tuning into class, but really, y'all don't know the Bible. Salaki. Clearly, y'all don't know the Bible. How do you know not giving up is love? Did God give up on the nation of Israel? God said he only loved Israelites. Did he give up on us? How many times we turned our back on the Most High and he saved us? Let's go to Judges real quick. Judges chapter 10, verse... Judges chapter 10, verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me. It's talking about the nation of Israel. We decided to celebrate Valentine's Day. We decided to celebrate whatever these heathens celebrate. The point is we decided to worship heathen gods just like the heathens worship them. Right? Salakia. That's what we try to do. The Most High said, you forgot about me again. And served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. If you give this to a Christian, to a Muslim, or to anyone else, they will say what? See? The God said he don't deal with you no more. He don't want to have nothing to do with you no more. He don't care about y'all no more. Let's keep reading. Verse 14. Go cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. You understand? Now that sister that said she don't need her man once he's done taking care of her while she was unable to take care of herself. She said, if something happens to her, if she get beat across the head, a broken jaw and missing teeth by another man, she's gonna come back to him and he's gonna say what? Yeah, yo, go. That's your new nigga. Go to him. He's gonna save you. You wanted him? Go to him. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Let him deal with it. Let him go to therapy and deliver you from him. Salakia. You understand? But give this to the heathen will say, see, that's the proof that the God of Israel don't care about the Israelites no more. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. And the children of Israel said unto the Lord, we have sinned. Just like every single time we said, hey, you know what? We know we messed up. You can say, Pops, I messed up. Mom, I messed up. I'm sorry. I messed up. You understand? Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee this day. What does it mean? We told God, listen, whatever, hey, listen, we'll take the punishment. Take the Xbox away from us. beat me with the belt. I don't give a damn. So like we got beat with the belt in our generation. So like I'm not saying go beat your children. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you get the point. We would take the chastisement just to get out of trouble. We don't give a damn. Do not let us go outside, play in the park anymore. Just deliver us from these heathens. That's what we told God. Right? Verse 16. And they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Lord. And his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. We turned around and did the right thing. We served the Lord again. And the Most High always feels bad when he sees us being punished. He loves us. He's never given up on us. The covenant is forever. But he had to make a new covenant. Why? Because we keep breaking the first one. You understand? That's when we have a chance to redeem ourselves. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai for giving us a second chance. Christ is our redemption. You get me? They say, oh, he forgot about the Israelites. They're not known to him no more. The Most High made another covenant with us. He never were glad to punish us. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel. If he really forsake us, why did he make a new covenant? Why did he make a new contract? Why couldn't he keep the first one and they didn't respect the first one? Lord be with them. I'm not going to be with them no more. But whatever Lord they choose, let him be with them. You get me? You could tell you could tell God is a nigga God. He said, "Oh, yeah, you want to worship the other gods? Ask them to deliver you." That's sarcasm right here. Only a black person would talk to you like that. Oh yeah, no sweat. That's what it is. No sweat. Lord be with you. And that's what the Most High said. He didn't literally say. I'm paraphrasing. You get the point, though, right? The point is this. He never gave up on the nation of Israel. He gave us multiple chances time after time. Matter of fact, it says he winks at our ignorance. That sister did not love that brother. He loved her, though. You know why? Because he did not give up on her. Just like the Most High did not give up on us. He never did. We always gave up on him. We always turned our backs on him. Year after year, you show that you hate God by celebrating Valentine's Day. You go against the law. He says, don't worship other gods. You turn around and worship the most sodomite God on the planet. Imagine that. You turn around, good night. You turn around, you went from saying our Father, and you turn around and look at a sodomite God and say, Daddy. Pause. Good night. That's crazy. You understand? That's who you call you don't even call them Father. Damn. That's crazy. That's diabolical. And time after time, guess what? The Most High keeps telling you, yo, just come back to the right way. Come back on the right path. That's it. You know, how could I say? So there's some people that would say they would always support their children no matter what they do. That's not love. Their children becomes a crackhead. They still, let him in the house and they what's the word again? I forgot. They feed their habit. There's a word for that. They're enabling them. That's not love. You're helping them killing themselves. When I was younger, outside the truth, right? I used to smoke weed with my dad. And I'm thinking, yo, that's I'm tight, with him and things like that. Yo, that's pops or whatnot. We smoking weed, I can get cigarettes. I'm thinking, yeah, he's making sure I don't spend money outside. I don't get bad weed outside or whatnot. Coming into the truth, realize that's not love. You helping me kill myself. We don't view it as that. Sometimes love, again, it's not just counseling. It's not just, getting checked because you say something that's, kind of crazy, kind of disrespectful or out of line. Sometimes it's tough love, chastisement, like the Lord. The Lord sent us to slavery as tough love. You understand? How do I show love now to other brothers, to other sisters? We tell them every day, come to class. Don't be a sexual deviant. Sis, you know what true love is? To share your man and to not leave your man if he has another wife. If he takes on another wife. Or if you become the other wife. Damn. You know what love is? Is when you're being asked for a cigarette. As a matter of fact, let me scratch that, right? Because sometimes I had my brother, one of my brothers or some brethrens come over to my place and I light up some incense. We burn incense. And then they ask me, yo, can you pass me the lighter? I'm like, lighter for what? And they're about to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I said, the lighter is for the incense. That's love. I'm not going to let you kill yourself. You understand? I would not give a damn about you if I would say, here's the lighter. You can't smoke in my house. You just can't smoke around, period. How am I going to allow you to kill yourself next to me? I know I don't smoke. You understand? I'm not even worried about myself. I'm worried about you. I'm not killing myself with the cancer sticks. You are. And I'm not going to if I truly love you as a friend, if I'm really your friend, right? The Bible says prove a friend. That's how you prove a friend. I'm not going to let you, spiral down the road and get like throat cancer or something. I'm not going to contribute to your death. How am I your friend if I contribute to your death? It's like all you drug dealers on the corner. How are you someone else's friend when you provide them the drugs they're killing themselves with? You say, yeah, he needed to chill for a second. He needed to relax. You tell him come to class and give them the number to the school in their zone. That's how they're going to be able to fix themselves, whatever trouble they're facing. That's as easy as it is. You know what? You're not ready for that. You haven't ever been taught what love is. Ever. Where's the proof? Most of y'all, when you get abused, you know what you do? You abuse yourself or you abuse others. You keep the hurt cycle going. You don't break it. You don't. We just read what love is. And again, it's not the class was not specifically about Valentine's Day. That's just part of it. Is this how can you say? It's multifaceted where there's multiple aspects on why we hate one another. How we should love, who we should love. You understand? For all you fake Israelites out here trying to save the heathens, they can't love and we can't love them. How? It's talking to Israelites, written by Israelites, for Israelites. You understand? They don't need to understand what love is. We need to understand what love is. They don't hate one another. We hate one another. We need to know. Even, let's say for argument's sake, you would try to love them. How can you love someone if you hate yourself and your people? How can you love another nation? You hate yourself and your people. How does that even make sense? Like, think about it. I don't give a damn about the argument's sake at this point, right? Because you really cannot love them hating your people. That doesn't work at all. You understand? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now, again, Love is to follow the law. It's really that simple. And it's not complicated. And if you truly believe in that you love someone, you're never going to give up on them. Ever. You're not going to give up on your friends, your brother, your wife. You're not going to give up on your husband. Maybe we can. You're not going to give up on your wives, plural, if you have more than one. All brothers have more than one wife. How do I know? Because their first wife is the truth. That's how I know. You know, how many other physical wives they want to have, that's up to them. I'm not here to keep count. This is out of my jurisdiction. It's a lot, you know. But you're not going to give up on them. Just like when you love your kids, you're not going to give up on your kids. Just like the Most High didn't give up on us. Even though the chastisement may seem harsh or to the eyes of society, you're a horrible parent. Why? Because you reject the fact that your son wants to wear a dress? You're an amazing father. You're an amazing father. If you as a mother don't let your daughter dress like a whore, you're an amazing daughter. Why? What does the law says? What does the law says about these two things that I just mentioned? Did I say you're an amazing daughter? I meant you're an amazing mother. Salakia. What does the law says about these two things that I just mentioned? If you do not let, well, either of your kids be a sodomite or a whore, you know, why are you an amazing father? Why does it show that you love your kids? Salakia. Right? How does it show that you love your kids? Yeah. What is love? Love is to follow the commandments. What are the commandments? What are the statutes? It's the law. What does the law says? What are we commanded to do? What are we commanded not to do? Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. If you're out here telling your wife to cover herself, telling your daughters to cover themselves, your sister to cover themselves, you are an amazing father. You're an amazing brother. You're an amazing husband. Sisters, you're the same. You're an amazing mother. You're an amazing sister. You understand? You're an amazing auntie. Why? Because you don't want them to walk around in the world full of predators. You want them, listen, here's the thing, right? You want them to value themselves. You want them to be, you know, that nakedness belongs to their husband or future husband, right? Because you don't want your little kid work. Listen, kids, good night. White people dress their kids like strippers from like they're like 4 years old. That's crazy. Like you see crazy things in the world. That's not the point. The point is this, right? You want them that they need to learn to value themselves. Someday, a man is going to approach her. He's going to have, of course, he's going to have carnal intentions. I mean, that's natural, but it cannot be how he approaches her in that carnal aspect where that's the only thing he sees in her. He wants to get to know her. How? Get to know who she is, thinking that can she be a great mother to my children? Do I want to build a family with her? Nobody wants to build a family with a whore. I don't know who does, but you get the point. They're going to learn how to value themselves, how to not just learn how to not be public property. Learn how to be what they call it, to be demure. That's what they call it. That's in the book of Titus. The book of Titus told you how to be demure from a long time. That's been thousands of years ago. You know? Learn how to value yourself. You're like, you see how excited kids are when you give them a gift, right? They want to unwrap the gift and everything. Yeah, be that type of excitement to your man. You understand? A man is always going to undress you anyways. He's going to undress you with his eyes first. You don't want to come to a man already undressed, already unwrapped. Imagine that, right? When you, this is a good night. When you go buy some food, it could be a snack, it could be a bag of chips, it could be a piece, the juiciest piece of steak, right? You're about to take care of it, season it, you understand? Marinate it, everything. Are you gonna take the steak that's the package is already open, or it's just right here, just for the whole public to touch, or the one that's wrapped up? You understand? Wrapped up that nobody could touch, that anyone could pray they could feast their eyes on, but they can't. The ones that's the private stock. Are you gonna take are you gonna take the public sirloin or the private stock? I don't look for the private stock. Nobody gets to that. Nobody. And once it's mine, it's mine. That's how you want to teach your daughters. That's how you want to teach your sisters. And even coming out of captivity, maybe you ended up with a sister that experienced some stuff where you have to work on her with that, right? It could be a process, which is fine. You chose her. Now you have to work on her. Where she understands, you know what? That's why my husband wants me covered up. No, it's not even just about men knowing how men are. Men are really visual, but it's not even about that, right? Respect yourself. And how can I protect you if you put yourself in danger? You're out here walking butt naked outside. Then you complain about, being sexually harassed verbally or physically. That's even worse. But you're out here naked. And I don't want you to be naked outside. I want you, I'm not asking you to wear a burqa. I'm not asking you to wear a ninja suit. Just cover yourself. Don't show your breast. Don't, walk around in a thong. No. Even when we go to the beach, let's say we go to the beach or a swimming pool, there's an attire that you could wear without having to show your butt cheeks. You didn't know that, right? You only thought that, this is how I go to the beach in a swimsuit, which is really just underwear for waterproof underwear. Shit. But again, what does the precept say? Deuteronomy 23:17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. You not wanting your wife to dress a certain way, you raising your daughter to, to value her body, to not just expose it to any and everyone. You love them because this is the love of God, to follow the commandments. We shouldn't have any whores. We shouldn't have any strippers. We shouldn't have any sluts in our nation. You understand? Let's keep reading. Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You rejecting your son's ideology to adopt that alternative lifestyle. It's love. You love your son. Salakia. What is the love of God? To follow the commandments. You love your son when you tell him he can't live in the house no more. He wants to wave the rainbow flag. He's going to find his own house, his shelter, a cardboard box. I don't know. I don't care. But this is love. I don't want you to hate yourself. I don't want you to hurt yourself, to hurt others. You understand? As a father, as a brother, right? This is how you show love to your son. You cannot accept his lifestyle. He's going to hurt him. He's going to hate himself even more the longer he lives that lifestyle. That's proven. The homosexual community say they hate themselves all the time. They unalive themselves all the time. And you don't want your son to unalive himself. And he's not going to unalive himself because you reject the lifestyle he adopts. You're pushing him to unalive himself. You're pushing him to hurt himself. If you accept that, he cannot accept himself. How you know he can accept himself? He had to change lifestyle. It doesn't matter if his trauma, seek to heal that trauma that was caused to him that made him think he should adopt another lifestyle. You understand? If it's indoctrination, well, you have to be diligent into what type of information the kids are absorbing. Kids are like sponges. They may not grasp what's wrong and right. This is why you're here. This is why you have to be in class as well, because you were not taught wrong from right. Growing up in the world, I remember I was told, it's not bad selling weed. It's just bad selling other stuff. And the same people who were telling me that before I came into truth were selling other stuff. And they didn't really care when I started selling other stuff. Imagine that. It's bad all around. You're told it's not bad. Interracial marriages is not bad. It's bad. It's a sin. It's damn. It's bad. You understand? In the Benjamin, well, really all the 12 tribes, if you listen to the song, right? Brothers are pushing adultery in the songs, and we think it's accepted. Matter of fact, well, I was not gonna say scratch that. There's that, and also the fact that brothers would reject a brother living an alternative lifestyle, but accept a sister living an alternative lifestyle. Both, listen, if you reject the brother because he's waving the rainbow flag, you have to reject the sister because she's waving the rainbow flag. You cannot reject, what's the little sodomite cowboy there? You cannot reject Lil Nas X and accept Young Ma. You understand? You cannot reject, I don't even know any gay dancehall artists, so I can say that. But you get the point? You cannot pick and choose what's wrong and good based on your standards, because you don't have standards. You follow heathen standards. Our standard, really, our moral code is, or a moral compass is the Bible. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You can't cherry pick. Now you're doing that to Christians. You can't cherry pick. You can't pick and choose. You can't reject your son for being a drug addict, but then accept his alternative lifestyle. You have to reject both because both are wrong. You're not helping him. You know how to help him? Come to class. You seek counsel. You call for counsel on how to counsel him. You be put in all black. Be raised up as a trooper. Pass your officer's test. Learn how to counsel him. You know that the key to your son not being a homosexual no more is just you coming to class. You don't know that you could fix your son by doing that? Let's get that real quick, right? That's how you love your son and your daughter. Let me see. Is it what? Matthew's? Or no, it's like it's John. Is it John chapter 13 and 15? I might be mistaken. Bear with me one moment. And I jumped up to 15, verse 13, right? I always call it verse 12. It's the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment. That's Christ speaking to you, right? That ye love one another as I have loved you. Christ said, love each other like I loved you. Christ died for us. That's how much he died for a whole nation. To redeem, to make sure that you get another chance today, thousands of years from his death, so that you get another chance to do things right, like he got a chance himself to do things right. Why do I say that? Christ was Adam. He messed up. And after coming back, he came back as what? I think as Isaac, Melchizedek, and Solomon. He messed up as Solomon too. The kingdom got split. He came back and he did things right. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 13. Greater love had no man than this. There is no greater love than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You know how I laid my life for my friends? The old me died and Barak Yalla came to life. That's how. You understand? The old you must die. And the new you, the new creature that you become in Christ, will come to life. And you could share that same breath of life. You may be able to share it to your son, to your daughters. They stop being whores and sodomites. They stop being crackheads and criminals. They stop being, worshiping other gods and sleeping with other nations. How about you pave the way? The way was paved for us. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to pave the way. The way was already paved for us from a long time. You understand? We stepped off the path. What you have to do is get back on the right path. Get back on the straight path. It says, was it Psalms 18 and 30, I think? The way of the Lord is perfect. He is a buckler to those that believe in him. Your son cannot be protected from the monkeypox in the LGBTQ community, but he can be in the truth. Your daughter cannot be protected from sexual abusers walking naked in the streets, but she can be when she's in the truth with clothes on. You understand? And that's love. Love is not accept, okay, you see when you accept someone's fault and you work on them, it's like, yo, maybe your rib has attitude. All right, who knows? She might have something to deal with and she works on it, right? Or maybe, you can, you have bad memory and you work on it, or you have bad communication skills. That's different. You suffer one another on that, right? But now is different than, because you could accept, there's bad communication skills. We're gonna accept. I'm accepted, and then we're gonna work on it. Now, son is a sodomite. You're gonna accept sin in your house. That's the difference. Having bad communication skills is not sinful. It's not always pleasant. You're gonna suffer one another and work on that. That's fine. Now, having sin in your house, I'm not gonna suffer you smelling cigarettes in my house. You're gonna have to go. I'm not gonna suffer you, hopping like a bunny, like the white man made Meek Mill do in the house. No, you're not gonna do that in here. In my house, we serve the Lord. You're not gonna do that at all. You understand? I'm not gonna accept your lifestyle. Why? Because I have love for you. I love you. That's why. I'm not going to accept you being a whore. I love you. I can't let you do the things you do to hurt yourself. I cannot tie you to a tree to make you stop being a whore or a homosexual either, or a junkie, right? But I could tell you that it's wrong. And I could help you see how wrong it is by me not accepting it. This is me not accepting what you decide to do to hurt yourself is not hate, is love. What's love? To follow the commandments. We cannot accept evil. We have to reject evil, regardless of the evil. Let me get James real quick. All evil is the same. What is it? James. So let me go to James chapter 2. Verse 10, there's no respect of persons. James chapter 2, verse 10, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. There is no, not threshold. There is no levels when it comes to sin. What is it? There's levels to this shit. There's no levels to this. You understand? All sin is the same. It don't matter if you eat pork, if you eat shrimp, if you smoke dope, if you partake in interracial marriage, if you worship other gods, It is all the same thing. If you claim to keep the whole law, boom, you eat pork bacon, you eat oysters, you know, oh, you follow the Sabbath, Most High in Christ, but you go to the gay parade. No, no, that's what you think this is, you know. Oh, you accept your husband having multiple wives, you know, you cover your behind, but you eat shrimp. You're as equal as that monogamous whore on OnlyFans, which is, I don't even know how that works, but you understand. It's all the same. If I have to reject you hurting yourself by using narcotics, I have to reject what you're doing, you know, because even then, right? I have love for you, but I don't have love for that lifestyle you're living. It's because what? It's against the law. You understand? It's contradictory. And that's what true love is. True love, anything you do lawfully, I'm going to support you. Anything you do unlawfully, you're not going to have love from me. The love that we have in the U.P.K. is righteous. You understand? We learn how to love one another. How? We stop smoking. How do you tell me I love myself if I consume what is killing me? You get me? That makes no sense. How do you love yourself if you put yourself in danger all the time, knowing that there's predators outside? You know. What is it? What's that precept again I wanted to pull? Salakia. So you can understand what I was trying to say earlier. I know it's in Ecclesiasticus, right? A man that begat a wife begat a possession. So let me pull that real quick for y'all before we end the class. It's somewhere in Ecclesiasticus. Damn, I keep forgetting. Somewhere in Ecclesiasticus, a man that begat a wife begat a possession. You understand? Let me pull it up real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. We're about to end the class anyways. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. That's the one. I was almost there. I was at 34. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. You're my wife. You belong to me. I want to protect you. You are not public property. You are private property. I make sure I take care of my belongings. See, that's the problem. Women have this issue of like, yeah, he don't love me. He don't let me do what I want. He don't let me wear what I want. He hates you if you wear what you want and you parade yourself showing your crotch to the world. Damn. You hate yourself and he hates you too. He don't love you. He don't care. You know, a man that cares don't want his wife to be seen like that by the whole. That nakedness belongs to him. Listen, that nakedness is for my eyes and my eyes only. You understand? You're mine. You are private property, and I don't share. A help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. Yeah, if you're a whore, you're stressing the hell out of that man, but that's not the point. The point is this. If he tells you to cover your behind, it's love and protection. That's the next verse. Verse 25, where no hedge is, a hedge is like a fence, right? A hedge is like tall bushes. They're the size of a fence. And what do? They serve the purpose of a fence. They protect. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Why? Because she's public property. There's no protection. Everybody could look at it. Everybody could touch it. Everybody could taste it. Everybody could do whatever they want to do with it. And she is spoiled. You understand? That man telling you to cover your behind, that's love. He don't want you to get spoiled. He wants you under his protection. Now you can say that black women are not protected if you put yourself out there. It's another thing if he's not protecting you. Of course, y'all are guilty as well. You know what? Because black women dress like whores, because black men love whores, because they lust after white women who are whores. Therefore, black women try to be like white women who are whores. And why do black men lust after white women who are whores? Because they want to be like white men who love whores. You understand? I don't know. I'm damn near made it sound complicated, but it's really simple. Stop wanting to be like the heathens. Meaning what? Do not celebrate Valentine's Day next Saturday. And that's how you will show true love to your significant other. You know, procreate tonight. Have sex every day of the year except on Valentine's Day. How about that? Don't let the white men tell you when to give your significant other sex. Because that's what they do on Valentine's Day. Imagine that. They tell you when to procreate, right? Worshipping a god of fertility and abundance and agriculture or whatnot. They're not even procreating enough because they sleep with their procreation. Salakia. The point is this. True love is following the commandments. And only the nation of Israel was given those commandments. Let's get that last precept again. We're going to end the class. What is it? I'm going to Isaiah. Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. Jacob, the forefather of the 12 tribes, whose name was changed into Israel later down the road. His statutes, which is another word for law, his statutes and his judgments, which is the punishment if you disobey the law, unto Israel. Only Israel was given the law. Only Israel was given the love of God. Verse 20, he had not dealt with so with any nation. No other nation was given the love of God. Not one. Not the Muslims, not the Hindus, not the Buddhists, not the Africans. You understand? No nation but the nation of Israel. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise Yahweh. They don't know the punishment of the Lord because they cannot be punished for transgressing a law that they were not given. They can't transgress the law. They don't know the law. They don't know the law. They were not given the law. What is the law? The love of God. What is the love of God? It's the law, the commandments, loving one another, not being a whore, not being a sodomite, not eating pork, not celebrating Valentine's Day this Salakia next Saturday. That's the love of God. You understand? With that said, we're going to end the class right here at the water for everybody who tuned in. Right. Next Thursday, we'll do that same class, but in French. As you know, we alternate every other Thursday. You understand? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from I.S.U.P.K, Montreal, Toronto, IET. Streaming now from 1 West Ground Zero, the channel for our podcast. We're going to stream the classes as well on YouTube and Facebook. Right. Next week, we'll be streaming live from I.S.U.P.K Montreal, Martinique, IET, and France as well for the French classes. Make sure you tune in, like, subscribe, share everywhere. Pay your tithes. That's the love of God. Pay your tithes. That's the love of God. Pay your tithes. 10% of every increase the Lord gives you. pay your Passover fee. Passover, April 4th, 2026, will be in Houston, Texas. Was it the HB Ranch? Contact the I.S.U.P.K in your zone for all the details. And that's the law. Meaning what? This is the love of God. This is true. Making it to the Passover is true love, not Valentine's Day. Get a security announcement. We'll see you next week, Israel. Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, we have Purim, which is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which falls on Monday, the 2nd of March, and Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2026. You can read more about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder to all Akiam and Akwathian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham, meaning Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn, and turn and face the sisters. We'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, meaning Yahweh watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Y'all make sure y'all tune into I.S.U.P.K 1 West online classes right now for General Mahaiman scripture breakdown. With that said, Israel, Shalom.
We have a gift that nobody can see, that was handed over to us to do something amazing. Take the gift, man. Take the gift. Take the gift, man. And let the Most High work in you to do something you have never believed.
I ain't even impressed what you expect. You see this shit? Hold on, there's one West on my chest.
One West world, that's it.
Fuck a street code, let a priest law. No stain, great Dane with the leash off. I ain't nothing of this world, I need a respawn. I just know they wish that I would stop, but I keep going. These fringes on my calf like a tube sock. I used to stuff the loose ones in my shoebox. And we came a long way from the curbside. Now we looking from the top from a bird eye. And I can't leave my brother on the battlefield. Lord, let the hell rain, we gon' see who real. And you know they gon' hate when they see a plate. So imagine what they doing for $250,000. And we really the only ones going to war. You niggas just be talking like y'all won the war. I made love to this truth and there's no divorce. My Spanish mommy call me Poppy like a corner store. Let me show you how to do it. Said he living by the word, I think it's time he proved it. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And save the acting for the camera, this is not a movie. I pray to God I don't fall off. I I ain't nothing like y'all. Niggas think they slime, cut their head off a python. Blame me for my outlook, never counted the lookouts. The world said I wasn't shit, but look at how I turned out. Not so bad, huh? Why you mad, huh? We go hard, but go harder for the have-not. Listen, when that oil hit your leg, then you can't stop. Your feet better hit the ground running, this shit bedrock. Man, we tried to put him on, but he sleep. Waking up the people, that's the job for a priest. Hopped out the wheel, fringes swinging like a pendulum. You heard of the tribes, where the fuck you think they get it from? Look, I'm a soldier, get the order, then I get it done. Got some big shit to split the water, make these niggas run. Why you hurt? If I told the truth, then I showed you love. Let me prove it, wanna move right, let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. Said he living by the word, I think it's time he proved. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And save the acting for the camera, this is not a movie.
Don't step over the line though. Everybody, anybody, it's up for everybody. And that's not, I got bigger fish to fry. I got people to say it. I ain't even on a rap, so I already beat the rap shit.
The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.